team, my name is Paul Raggio, and I'm co-owner with my sister Lisa of One True North Leadership and Business Coaching Solutions. This is our weekly video where we provide leadership and best business practice tips, and we do it by summarizing our past week's column in the Santa Clarita Valley Signal. And the title of that column was Old Soldiers Never Die, They Just Fade Away. Well, General Douglas MacArthur brought relevance to this stanza, and it was taken from a British soldier folklore song on April 19th in 1951. MacArthur had just been relieved of his command in Korea by President Truman, returned to the United States, and addressed Congress's joint session. MacArthur's speech focused on the communist China threat posed in the Pacific Rim, specifically Korea, and the actions he believed necessary to check their advance. Well, these actions were contrary to President Truman's stance. So in the last paragraph of MacArthur's speech, he reflected on his service to the country. Now he was a Medal of Honor recipient and one of the very few five-star flag officers in our history. And he recited the famous refrain from the British ballad, and then he concluded, and I quote, "And like the old soldier of that ballad, I now close my military career and just fade away. An old soldier who tried to do his duty as God gave him the light to see that duty." That's the end of the quote. We all live by a universal axiom. There is a beginning and an ending to life, and along the way we revel on the peaks and we wallow in the valleys. And this life pattern is true for leaders too. Today you may be aspiring, emerging, or leading. However, that will end, either voluntarily or by compulsion. The uncertainty, if you let it, lies with when. Many of us admire franchise quarterbacks when they choose to leave on their terms. They decide when. On their departure, we comment, they gave us several years of excitement and thrills, and they're going out on the top of their game. Yet many don't, and we shake our head at them in disbelief. They choose to delay the inevitable and hang around for one more season, even though they know their skills have degraded and their performance is jeopardizing the team's success. Soon they find themselves sitting on the bench, one deep, then maybe two deep, as the backup to the backup quarterback. Their win passed, and now by compulsion, they're out. We see the same resistance to leaving a leadership position in organizations, government, public, private, and nonprofit. For example, Congress's hallowed halls are plump with members serving decades, roosting first in the House of Representatives, then migrating to the Senate. And many institutions, whether they're federal, state, city, religious, publicly and privately held companies, continue to be led by multi-decade founders, bishops, presidents, chief executive officers, executive directors, and general managers. So I ask you, when does becoming long in serving as a leader become too long? When is it optimum to move from a leader to a leader's gray hair advisor? Well, I want you to consider some of these red flag warnings as indicators that it may be time to relinquish your leadership. When your focus changes to preserving your power rather than developing other leaders to assume control. When you spend more time communicating your accomplishments rather than encouraging your team to achieve the subsequent exponential growth goals. When it's easier for you to say no to confronting a new challenge rather than empowering your team to embrace the dynamic environment and change. When you dread your followers toiling rather than celebrating their progress. When you ignore team member comments rather than finding out what motivates them. When you see vital associates leaving your team rather than them recruiting new members to join. And when you discourage rather than inspire your followers. You know, being a leader means acting on leaving when it's optimum for the development of your organization. If you see any of these red flags, it's time to assess your value to the team. Organizations should have a succession plan, and within that plan, document how leaders progress through and transition out of the organization. Well, General MacArthur, considered by many one of the most outstanding leaders of the century, did not depart on his terms. He didn't choose when. President Truman did. And although MacArthur's impact has faded, his leadership continues to be studied worldwide through books such as the great 1978 biography titled The American Caesar. So knowing when to pass the leadership torch and then acting by transferring power is what defines exceptional leaders. We all live by the universal axiom: there are beginnings and endings. How impactful your leadership is to an organization determines how long your fade will be once you depart. Well, that's our leadership tip for the week, and we certainly appreciate all the comments you provide us in terms of the videos and what we have on our website, which is onetruenorthcoach.com. There you'll see our offerings, and you'll see the list of activities that we have upcoming, and we hope that you spend a little bit of time there, and then contact us if you need to or plan on attending any one of those events. Thanks, and we'll see you next week.